Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Naim Muzaffar bin Shamsul Muharzi, matric number 1813725. And today I'm going to be discussing from my group two solutions that we have discovered to overcome online scamming, namely for catfishers in the online dating scene, as well as how to overcome advance fee scams. So let's talk about catfishing scams, namely what is catfishing and what does it mean to catfish someone? Well, catfishing is defined as luring someone into a relationship by means of a fictional online persona. So it's typically used by scammers to lure online users of online dating apps such as Tinder and others for their own wants and desires. Sometimes it can be for pursuits of money, wherein the person you think you are talking to will eventually ask for money, or sometimes it could just be for the sake of trying to meet someone but not really being confident with your own looks. So how does it actually work, this catfishing scam? Well, in a catfishing scam, a scammer typically reuses a attractive person's picture and sets that as their profile pic. So other people of these online dating apps will perceive that the person they are talking to is exactly the same as the person they are talking to according to this profile picture. So eventually the scammer who uses these attractive person's pictures lured themselves a victim. They will sometimes persuade the victim to do things such as extortion, or sometimes due to the fact that we are much more comfortable with this person and feel that we can talk to this person about anything, eventually the information that we relay to this scammer will be used as blackmail against us for their own purposes. So why is it people usually fall for this scam? It's because they take things at face values, where most of the time they forget to try to verify or authenticate who it is they actually talking to online. So as you can see from this cartoon, which accurately describes what catfishing is, this woman assumes that she is talking to this man in her head, which the guy on the right had set as his profile picture. And alternatively, the man is also thinking that he is talking to this beautiful woman that he's picturing in his head, when in reality he is talking to someone on the left. So the solution that we have actually thought up for this type of problem is something I like to call the spoonful of truth. It's a silly but effective method wherein what happens is actually once you find yourself engaging in a conversation with whom you are very suspicious of, you can actually ask this person to take a picture of themselves holding a spoon or putting a spoon on top of their head. Now, it works on this premise that if it is actually indeed the person you are talking to by their profile picture, they will obviously be able to send such a picture to you. And if they are not really the person who they claim to be, they will not be able to resend the picture just because there is no such picture of the person they are taking the profile of with a spoon on top of their head. So this is an example of the method that we were just talking about. So this is a conversation between a man and his significant other, where she's asking, "Are you home?" The man replies, "Yes." Suddenly, the lady asks for him to take a picture with a spoon on top of his head. He asks why. Now you can see that this woman says that she wants him to prove that he is home. And he obliges and sends the picture to prove that he is indeed home with a spoon on top of his head. So this is where our method comes into fruition. However, as a humorous context, I just want to add that even though he did do this, the woman still was not convinced and says, "You could have taken that picture yesterday." To which the man replies with how ridiculous of a response that is. Next, let's talk about advance fee scams. What is an advance fee scam? It's where the scammer impersonates someone, for example, a government official or a bank official. Sometimes they impersonate someone coming from a postal service, where they ask for a sum of money in exchange for you, for example, to receive a reward or to receive the package that you have not taken yet, a sort of fee before you receive any type of product. Most of the time, this is actually a product that doesn't actually exist. Sometimes they try to scare a person into giving them money, otherwise they will be hit with a hefty fine instead, i.e. being punished. So these types of scam usually rely on the anonymity of the internet, wherein you cannot actually verify, again, you cannot verify the person you are talking to on the other end, so you just fall for how official looking the email actually looks. And it doesn't help that the scammer knows exactly how persuasive they have to be in order to scare you to get what they want. So this is an example that you can see at the bottom here where they say, congratulations, you have won this amount of money. However, you need to send your credit card information to this link. So the method that we have to overcome these advanced fee kind of scams is what I like to call visualizing the conversation. So you have to apply this type of mentality where it says, if it's too good to be true, it probably isn't. So what I mean by this is that you try to reapply the conversation or the email that you receive into a real life situation where you actually meet this person who claims that you have won this amount of money and see if it still holds up. Most of the time, you will be surprised by how much none of this would actually make sense if you were to actually meet this person physically. Now let me run you through a scenario wherein you are a less adept and relatively naive user of the internet. So you're scrolling through your emails one day when you happen across an email from a sender claiming to be from a local bank. This example shows that should you pay $82 for a supposed compensation fund, you will receive a total compensation of $7.5 million. Now you don't recall asking for a compensation fund. However, the officiality of the email alongside its fake promise of millions of dollars in exchange for some of your money makes you give them the benefit of the doubt. You pay the money and wait patiently for a response. Days turn to weeks, weeks turn to months before you eventually realize that it was a scam. Now our method proposes this. Say you're given a familiar scenario, but this time a man in real life confronts you as you are, say, walking past the bank. Now this man promises you millions of dollars in exchange for some of the money that you have on hand. This is such an unreal premise that you would feel naturally inclined to simply ignore him and walk away. In a lot more detrimental type of scenarios is that instead of asking for money, they would actually go and ask for personal information, meaning they will ask for your identity and other types of information, in which most of the time they will take this information and send it to other scammers in hopes that they also will try to make a profit off of you.